In today's deep dive, we're going to be exploring the terrifying bacterial infection from the movie Black Mountainside and how it leads to brain damage. We'll be explaining the science behind this infection, the potential real-life inspirations, and of course how it contributes to the film's disturbing atmosphere. So grab your popcorn because this one's going to be intense. First, let's set the stage. Black Mountainside takes place in a remote and frozen landscape. This isolation plays a huge role in the psychological breakdown of the characters, but it's also the perfect environment for a bacterial infection to spread. In freezing, desolate areas like this, bacterial growth may slow down, but certain strains thrive in extreme conditions. And when humans are cut off from the rest of the world, their vulnerability increases. In the film, we see the infection manifest through erratic behavior, paranoia, and eventually, full-on hallucinations. But what's causing this? When bacteria attack the brain, they trigger a condition known as encephalitis, which is inflammation of the brain. This leads to symptoms like fever, confusion, and changes in personality, exactly what we see happening to the characters. While Black Mountainside is a work of fiction, the bacterial infection depicted in the film is eerily similar to real-life diseases. One such example is meningococcal disease, which can cause both meningitis and septicemia. The bacteria spread through close contact and can cause inflammation of the brain and spinal cord, leading to neurological damage. Another real-world example is Naegleria fowleri, also known as the brain-eating amoeba. This rare but deadly organism infects people who swim in warm, fresh water and can cause a fatal condition called primary amoebic meningoencephalitis, PAM. Like in the film, the early symptoms include headaches, fever, and confusion, eventually leading to seizures, coma, and death. As the infection progresses, the psychological toll on the characters becomes more apparent. Hallucinations are a common side effect of severe brain infections. In Black Mountainside, these hallucinations are also tied to the film's themes of isolation and fear of the unknown. The infection amplifies their paranoia, leading to a breakdown of trust among the team. Interestingly, infections that affect the brain can often cause delusions and psychotic symptoms. Diseases like neurosyphilis and Lyme disease have been known to mimic mental health disorders. This blend of biological and psychological horror makes the film all the more disturbing. Now let's talk about transmission. In the film, we're led to believe that the infection spreads through physical contact, or possibly through contaminated surfaces in their environment. In real-life bacterial infections like MRSA or C. difficile, contact transmission is one of the primary methods of spreading. In isolated areas, where hygiene might be compromised and medical resources are limited, even minor infections can become deadly. The cold environment likely reduces immune responses, allowing the bacteria to take over more quickly. The remote setting in Black Mountainside plays a critical role in the infection's rapid spread. Isolation makes it impossible for the infected characters to seek medical help, and the psychological effects of being cut off from civilization heighten their sense of paranoia. It's a perfect storm of physical and mental deterioration. This isolation doesn't just prevent them from getting help, it also accelerates the breakdown of their social structure. Without a larger society to maintain order, the infection wreaks havoc not only on their bodies but also on their relationships. Biological horror is a genre that taps into our deepest fears of infection, mutation, and decay. Films like The Thing and The Fly similarly explore the terror of losing control over one's own body. In Black Mountainside, the bacterial infection serves as a metaphor for this loss of control, turning friends into enemies and rational minds into chaos. Just like The Thing, where paranoia destroys the group dynamic, Black Mountainside uses the bacterial infection to create tension and fear among the characters. We're not just afraid of the infection, we're afraid of what it makes us become. So, what about the ending? Without giving away too many spoilers, let's just say that the infection doesn't seem to stop with the main group of characters. The question remains, was the infection ever really bacterial, or was something more supernatural at play? The film leaves us with a sense of dread, suggesting that this isolated incident might just be the beginning. Whether the infection is purely biological or has a more mystical origin, the movie forces us to confront the terrifying possibility of an unseen enemy taking over our minds and bodies. At its core, Black Mountainside combines biological horror with psychological terror to create a chilling experience. The bacterial infection isn't just an attack on the body, it's an attack on the mind, leading to isolation, paranoia, and ultimately, destruction. The film taps into real-world fears of infection, loss of control, and the vulnerability of isolation. So, the next time you watch it, remember, sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we can't see. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite horror films. Let me know what movie or topic you'd like me to cover next. Until then, stay safe and I'll see you in the next video.